Bruce and I went away together and finished. Last school we went to was a GR course at Harrogate. I went on to Beaufort OTU and Bruce went on to Hudson's and Liberators. The Beaufort OTU was sheer hell. Someone who loved figures said one day, we've lost 96 men since we've been up here, which is probably about right. Anyway, we got through there, posted out to the Middle East, and on our last leave, I saw John Manford in London. John said, where are you going? I told him. Oh God, he said, you've had it. They were pretty cheerful. Anyway, we flew out from Portreath in the southwest of England to Gibraltar and across North Africa. Incidentally, it's 1,049 nautical miles from Portreath to Gibraltar, for anyone who likes statistics. We got to Egypt, did another night torpedo dropping course, went across to Malta, still on Beauforts, and left there after 2 or 3 months to North Africa, to a place just outside Tunis, Potville, and converted to Beaufighters. Still doing torpedo work, and someone just said the Marauders carried torpedoes outside, so did we, on racks. We carried torpedoes for some months and then converted to rocket carrying aircraft. We were on a GR squadron, which is a bit of a misnomer, I think. Quite honest, I never knew what the hell we were going to do. We flew mostly on sighted targets. Marauders were doing our reconnaissance. And when they sent back a sighting report, we'd cruise out and see if we could find it. As often as not, we didn't. But when we did, it was mostly a convoy, perhaps 6, 8, 10, 15, 20 ships. And the big ones were, seemed a bit resentful. They set up quite a lot of flak. And it was nice to come out of it. Flying straight into flak is a funny feeling. It seems to come at you all the time. But once you open up, we had 4 cannon. And once you opened up with a cannon, it gave you a feeling of strength, I suppose. You got quite exhilarated. But you're still glad to get out of it. Bruce just reminded me of tracer bullets. Of course, you can see these damn things coming at you. And when you know tracers about 1 in 5, and you think, oh, you know, there's 5 times as much as you see. There's a hell of a lot of tracer. Sometimes they opened up, with the big convoy, they'd open up with their big guns and put down a barrage. And you could smell the cordite, you could hear the shells exploding, and you could smell the horrible smell of cordite. We very seldom saw enemy fighters, which was good. Once we did, and they gave us a pretty bad time. Got my navigator, shot him in the neck, killed him. I got one hell of a wallop on the back, and luckily my west collar stopped it. But it felt like being hit with a golf club. I was frightened to feel my back because I thought it'd be a great gaping hole there. You know, the sweat was running down my back and I thought it was blood. Anyway, we used to go across from where we were at Potville to Italy quite often, do the Adriatic. We did a few trips up the Adriatic, and I think we dropped the last torpedo we had up there. We got a ship just out of Trieste. Going back to North Africa one day, we hit the most horrendous storm, lost an aircraft in that, we just killed him right down to the deck. And we were bumped in about 4,000 feet, I think. Nose down, straight up, nose up, straight down. It was rain was pouring into the aircraft, we were soaking wet, and the navigator was saying, for God's sake, turn around, turn around. We couldn't. We just fluttered around, wherever the storm took us. Anyway, went back to North Africa and moved down to Algeria, which is a lovely area. Stayed there for some months, went across to Sardinia, to a place called Ugaya, just up on the northwest of Sardinia. And we changed, mostly did Night Intruder, and that's where my last trip came in. It was damn good. All our flying over the Mediterranean was done at virtually 0 feet. It was low, it was probably below 10 feet all the time to keep under the radar. It was fairly tiring, especially on a very calm day because it's hard to judge your height. One of our brighter interludes was going down to Marrakesh in Morocco when Winston Churchill was convalescing, and we did top cover there for I think a fortnight. I think 6 of us from the squadron went down. It was fantastic, living on this American squadron on American German, oh dear, sorry, and I think we deserved the break. We thoroughly enjoyed that. The food was good. Most of our attacks were done at about 800 yards, dropping a torp, rockets a bit closer, and we escaped not by turning, but by going straight ahead and probably under the bows or under the stern of the ship. Hopefully they couldn't see us. According to Flight Magazine, the casualty rate for torpedo squadrons was something like 82%. And the number of people who survived 2 tours was 3 or 3.5%. So not many got through. You're pretty lucky to get through one.